pilgrimages, and the importance of remaining silent. Okay, now, so pilgrimages, he says, which Guruji used to say, मैनू कार बैठ के याद करोगे एक दिन. एंड वो घर बैठने से ये नहीं होता कि आपने एक बार याद कर लिया, दिया जला दिया और आपको हो गया. What he's explaining, Baba Sai, and what Guruji used to also say, कि हर पल याद करना रब नू is a pilgrimage in itself. It's so beautifully explained. Scriptures पढ़ने से बेटर है आप किसी को जिसको जरूरत है, जो नॉर्मली होते हैं हमारे एल्डर्स जिनको कोई टाइम नहीं देता, हमेशा निग्लेक्ट होते हैं, तो उनको टाइम देने से भी आपके आपके स्क्रिप्चर्स पढ़ने के समान है. सो इट्स सो ब्यूटीफुल एंड प्रैक्टिकल एक्सप्लेन, लाइक गुरुजी से मैं प्रैक्टिकल गुरु हाँ. प्रैक्टिकल दोनों दिखा रहे हैं किस तरह रब नाल जुड़ना है, किस तरह रब नू प्यार करना है. पानी पियो, पानी तो हम 5 बार तो कम से कम पीते ही हैं दिन में. तो जैसे सिप लें, बोले गुरुजी थैंक यू फॉर द क्लीन वाटर, एंड थैंक यू फॉर द क्लीन वाटर दैट वी ड्रिंक, ऑल्सो द वन वी बेथ विद. कई मिलियंस ऑफ लोग हैं आज की दुनिया में जहाँ वॉर्स हो रही हैं, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हो रही हैं, पॉवर्टी है, तो they don't have clean water. So we are so blessed for the small blessings, small mercies. We must remember him, be in remembrance, and keep thanking him. So this is one. And then the silence, of course, we read only yesterday, and the silence was very important, that less said, better. In today's world, where the minute we open our mouth, sometimes we are misinterpreted or misunderstood. So it's better, there's so much strength that lies in silence. But that is calm silence, not angry silence, remember. So you have to resolve your issues with those who are around you. Doesn't mean you remain silent, even if you don't want to remain silent. You have something to say in your defense. But unnecessarily just getting into a conflict is not healthy for your mind and your body. So mental peace reigns supreme. It is above and beyond anything else. So Guruji ne bhi sikhaya ek chip soso. So true faith and patience is living God by truly loving God, Goddess and Master. So Rab ko pyar karna, always being in love with your Guru and being in remembrance of your Guru is what we need to practice. So without further ado, we continue, which is not much now. The moment Kez had been dreading had arrived. Though Baba had said nothing, Kez knew Baba was showing them the process of Baba leaving his physical body. So the first instance took place 2 years before Baba's Mahasamadhi, which was the year 1916. People had crossed the village border to enter Shirdi to pay their respects to Baba. And the moment they arrived, Baba flew into a rage, which not many had seen before. It was Vijay Samadhi, or the Shera, and 2 years later, on the same day, the Shera, Baba would take Samadhi. So, of course, whether it's Guruji, whether it's any master of that, they decide when they leave the body. So Baba had decided that I'm going to leave my body. Baba not only removed his bandana, which he rarely did in front of devotees, but tore his kafni, removed his langot, and threw them all into the Dunimai. He was upset over 2 things. First, the fact that most people only came to ask for material and temporal help. Nobody, it seemed, or only a handful came to Baba out of pure love and to seek spiritual guidance. So Guruji used to always get a little irked with his devotees saying, "Koi mere kolo asli cheez nahi mangda. Ayo duniya di cheezan mangdiyan rehnde ne." So nobody comes for spiritual guidance. Kehndे asli cheez ta manglo, naam manglo, duniya di cheezan tode piche piche dodegi. So ask for that real deal. Ask for protection, ask for direction, spiritual direction. He was really tired of the constant flood of people wanting everything, but the pure gems that he wanted to distribute, nobody wanted to take. The second reason for his anger was the incessant debate about Baba's religion. See again, Baba's religion doesn't matter. So that's why, when people say, "Kaun sa religion the Guruji? Sikh the, Hindu the?" It doesn't matter. He's an energy, divine energy, the supreme power. So it was as though it mattered more than Baba's very oneness with the Almighty. the one who has merged with the Creator, is beyond religion. So, this is religion is man made. Religion becomes redundant for those who have crossed the oceans of Maya and Karma. But for most, it mattered immensely to know Baba's religion, so irrelevant. So Baba became naked and abused one and all, saying that if by being naked the question of his religion was answered, then go ahead and look at it. Of course, nobody dared to look at Baba. Okay, so people gathered, actually scared, witless, and shivering at Baba's wrath. So he was really angry, which was very rare. So his disciples said, Baba, today is the Shera, the day of Simol Langan. Baba looked at one and all and said, this is my Simol Langan, the crossing of the border. Baba took an hour to calm down. And most people were certain that the Chavadi procession would not take place as it was already an hour to midnight. But Baba, having calmed down, wore a new kafni, then behaved as though not a thing had transpired. Thus, 2 years to the exact day of the Shera, the 10th day of celebrations of the 10th auspicious nights of the goddess Ma Durga, Baba had already decided his day of passing over. So, thus, by stripping bare, Baba had, in his own way, announced the beginning of the end of his physical body. In the same breath, Guruji had told a few of his very, I would say, elevated devotees that he's going to leave his body. Very few and far between. Not everybody knew. When he used to say, "Main ja raha haan," we used to think maybe he's going to Punjab, maybe he's traveling to some other city in India. So, we had no idea that he's actually going to pass over, because he did say, "मैं जा रहा क्योंकि मेरी संगत बहुत बढ़ जानी है." But we weren't able to translate that into the literal sense of him leaving his physical body. He said, Meri sangat bahut bar jani hai. Thus, by stripping bare, Baba had his own way announced the beginning of the end of his physical body. So again, he stripped the physical body, Guruji, and he said before he left, Meri body na connect nahi ho, meri energy de na connect ho. So he is the divine supreme energy, and that is what we need to connect to, because he said, which means, I have come in many different forms. So I am this form, and yet I'm formless. So connect to him, whichever way you connect. Then in the same year, 1916, Ramchandra Patel became critically ill. There was little hope of him surviving the illness. One day, Ramchandra dreamt that Baba Sai visited him. Ramchandra fell at Baba's feet in happiness and sorrow of leaving Baba soon due to his illness. Baba Sai caressed him and told him not to worry, as Baba had torn away the warrant of his certain death. 2 years from now, Baba's close devotee, Bayaja Ma's son, would not survive. Ramachandra woke up and realized the illness had begun to abate considerably, and a few days he was fit. Then in 1918, the brick given by Baba's guru broke, and Baba was inconsolable, telling one and all that this was not just a brick, but his companion, the physical reminder of his guru. And with the breaking of the brick, his final connect with the gross, five elemental world itself had broken. Baba had, through these years, kept the brick safe, always close to him, often using the brick as a pillar. And no matter where he was, the brick would be with him. Though the brick was fixed by gold and silver threads and other binding materials, Baba was clear that his time had come now. Baba had given permission to Bhuti to build a temple near Dwarka Mai in 1915. Thus it was clear that Baba himself chose his final resting place. Of course, all assumed a grand temple was being built by Bhuti in honor of his Lord Krishna. Not many realized that by naming the masjid Dwarka Mai, the abode of Lord Krishna, Baba was going to take care of his children after he dropped his body from the land meant for Lord Krishna. So even Guruji had promised all his devotees back then and more that he will take care of his devotees after he drops his body. So after Guruji dropped his body, his Sangat, of course, started growing exponentially. And along with it, there was so much meher that showered on everybody that came, so they connected. Some were coming out of curiosity, some were coming because they were continuing to come to him, and some, of course, मांगने के लिए, like Guruji said, मांगते रहते हैं, दुकान समझी हुई है मैं खुली हुई है. So, but nobody really asked for the real deal. Even today, we have a mixed bag of Sangat, of course, who are coming either for material progress, political progress, power, whatever they're coming for. But Guruji said, Asli cheez manglo, bada mara time aa raha hai. Or we are in the thick of Mara time now. And we must accept that this year is the year of destruction, but it is also the year of construction for those who are on the spiritual path. So that these are going parallel in this year. So we have chosen with Guruji's meher the spiritual path. So this is the path where we are bound to elevate and bound to deepen our connect, but we must practice. Practice makes progress. Kez had, since he was a child, wondered about the connect between Baba and Lord Krishna. Why would a mosque be given the name Dwarka Mai? And why would a temple for Lord Krishna become the final resting place for Baba's body? Obviously, there was a deep connect, but Kez never understood. Baba would every day, while passing on his daily rounds to beg, look about and give his suggestions and commands on the ongoing work. It's so similar. Before Guruji left his body, he made Bada Mandir. He constructed Bada Mandir and he would have it constructed meticulously. He knew and he said, in his words, he said, this temple is for my Sangat. मेरी संगत बहुत बढ़ जानी है और देखना यहाँ ही लोग आएंगे. 4 months before Baba took Masamadhi, he sent a direct indication of him passing over. It was in the month of July that Baba, through one of his devotees, Qasim, son of Bade Baba, and Iman Chota Khan, sent a garland of flowers to a close friend. And these 4 years, Baba had traveled to Aurangabad and other places and met a number of his friends from past lives. Banemia looked up at the sky and tears began to roll down his cheeks. So, so as per the Islamic calendar, the 9th day and 9th month, called the night of the massacre, was in the holy month of Ramzan and was also the Shera. In August, Baba told Hemat Pant, the author of Baba's science biography, who was blessed by Baba to write the book, to drink the glass of buttermilk offered by Baba to him, as Hemat Pant would not get an opportunity ever again. This was the last glass of buttermilk given by Baba to Hemad Pant. So again, Guruji, I met Guruji last when he was in the physical body. 1 week, it was a Thursday. Thursday was my given day by Guruji. 1 week before he left his body. He knew, of course, that he's going to go. So he gave me the instructions कि तेरी सेवा है, तू सत्संग कितना कर, तू जगह जगह जाएंगे, travel कर. So whatever he had to tell me in the physical, he told me on that very day. And that was the last time I met him. He said, Hunja Kalyan Kitta Aish Kar. But he never said to Monday aa jaye ya Wednesday, because he knew he was going to leave. So he just said, Ho gaya Kalyan ja. In August, all of a sudden, Tatya fell ill. He began to cough blood and slowly his health began to fail due to tuberculosis. Though he was unwell, he continued to be his cheerful self and served Baba. By the end of September, Tatya became bedridden, and one was certain he would not make it. From 28th September, slowly Baba began to abstain from all food. His close devotees and disciples were worried as Baba's strong frame began to show signs of weakness. But Baba continues with his round of seeking food from the 5 homes and also continues to go about life matter-of-factly. But it is obvious that his health is failing, the God and Master of so many. Now when Baba goes about Shirdi, Bhuti and Nimolkar help Baba walk through his dear love lanes of Shirdi. In fact, it seems as though Baba's body is shrinking. And Kaz begins to cry. He does not want to know what is ahead, but Baba smiles and caresses Kaz. I'm with you now, so why worry about what happened to an old mad fakir nearly 100 years ago? I'm with you, always. And this is true for each one of us who sometimes have this element of doubt. कि गुरुजी मेरे साथ है या नहीं, गुरुजी मेरी सुन रहे हैं या नहीं सुन रहे. We all have this at some point or another when some things are going wrong in our lives. So October sets in the last month of Baba's physical body, and 14 days before Baba took Masamadhi, he made a Brahmin devotee by the name of Vais read the Ram Vijay, the victory of Lord Rama. And Baba spent his time listening to the Holy Book. See, it's all interrelated. Sometimes Baba talks about the Quran, sometimes he talks about the Mahabharata, and sometimes he talks about the Ramayana. So the thing is, it's all one. So even one Sangat asked Guruji, okay, Guruji, which religion is the most superior religion? So Guruji says, Sab ek hai. So he then recited verses from the Quran, Guruji physically. He recited verses from the Quran, from the Bible, from the Gita, and from the Ramayana. And he said, it's all one. It is all the teachings are teaching us how to love our master and how to remain compassionate, how to remain humble. And your humility and humanity is your true religion. The first reading of the book took around 8 days. Baba made Vais read the book again, but this time faster. The second reading of Rama Vijay took 4 days. Baba asked him to read it again, but after a while, Vais seemed really tired, and Baba gave him permission to let the reading be after the third reading. Thus, virtually 2 days before Baba's Masamadhi, Baba made the holy book be read in front of him while he spent his time in meditative contemplation, but still very visible to his devotees. Baba sent 250 rupees to Qasim, another of Baba's friend in Aurangabad. Baba had himself prepared a coarse bread called poli and chicken to be fed to the poor in the name and glory of Prophet Muhammad, and also in Baba's name. This food, given as charity just before death, is also called niyaz. The money was sent to be given to those who would sing devotional songs in the memory of Prophet Muhammad, called molu and also kawalis. And hearing this, Hazrat Shamsuddin began to cry too. He too realized his old friend Baba Sai of Shirdi, was going to leave his physical body. Thus, even before taking Masamadhi, Baba made sure that both the Hindus and Islamic rituals were conducted, once again showing that he belonged to oneness. So, as we all know the history of India, even Muslims and Hindus, before the beautiful British people came along and advocated divide and rule, everyone coexisted and lived hand in hand. So that was the beauty of India back then, that there was no disparity or discrimination between Hindus and Muslims. And so Baba's science shows that we are all one and we all belong to oneness. But these man made crazy values and ideals have really created the divide and made India much smaller than what it was. Hindustan was a huge country and everyone was living in harmony. Before, of course, we know that the divide and rule started coming in, permeating our society and tearing it apart. But this is not long ago, 1916, when Baba Sai would read from both the rituals were performed, Hindu and Islamic rituals, to demonstrate and illustrate the oneness. By hearing the holy book of Lord Ram and offering food and having devotional songs sung in praise of Prophet Muhammad, Baba was ready now to drop his body. Where Datya was concerned, his end was virtually near. Shama wanted Baba to go and meet Datya, but Baba was clear that he had given a promise to Datya's body by Ajama that he would take care of Datya. Thus, he would never break his promise. With help he would give Datya, seated at Dwarkamai, was as good as Baba being physically present with Datya. So 8 days before Baba took Masamadhi, 3 dervishes, men of God, entered Shirdi with an ailing tiger. They wanted Baba to bless that tiger. The tiger slowly walked up the stairs of Dwarkamai and sat with his 2 feet extended towards Baba, who himself was very ill. But Baba's eyes glowed as though there was fire within them. Baba looked at the tiger and both stared at each other in the eye. And after a while, the tiger exhaled and passed on. So Guruji used to even look, just his nazar, just his, gaze of his eyes, he would look into the soul of his devotee, and that devotee would get healed. Meher ho jati thi, whether it's whatever it may be. In here, the tiger had to pass on, but he couldn't, and Baba facilitated the pass on, the Passover. The dervishes understood the importance of their beloved tiger leaving its mortal frame in Dwarkamai in front of Baba Sahib Shidde. So, like this, I recall two Sangat who were terribly sick, and they had asked Guruji for the real deal. And they had said, कि हमारी आखिरी सांस यहीं जाए आपके चरणों में. Guruji was sitting in the physical, and we had witnessed one devotee. She was, terminally ill. She came prostrated before him, and as she prostrated, she didn't get up. She let out her last breath in front of Guruji. Guruji just looked into her eyes when she bowed, and that was it. She was gone. What a beautiful, divine, celestial death that she had. She was a very blessed soul, and she died in front of Guruji's physical body. In the last week, devotees were allowed only to see Baba and seek his blessings from the stairs of Dwarkamai. So from them, the only thing that mattered was blessings, and all the devotees were, the only thing that mattered to them was blessings and answers to their problems. Baba would protest to allow his people within, but his body was too weak, tired, and ill. But when he went out of his usual rounds, droves of devotees gathered in two lines, giving passage to Baba. And like an aged, tired, ill king, Baba would go about his routine. 2 days before his samadhi, Baba stopped going to Lendi Garden now, and 2 days before his samadhi. Baba stopped venturing out or seeking food. Till 2 days before he left his body, Baba continued with his normal practice of going about his routine, though it was obvious his body was now battered and he was physically sick. People should have understood the meaning and significance of Baba now no longer going on about his routine, but they had such faith that their Baba would remain strong. Everyone wanted Guruji to remain in the physical body, but of course Guruji said, Meri Sangat, main tar nahi sakanga, bahut बढ़ जाएगी. I will enable them to cross the ocean of world existence, not in the physical body, but in the astral realm. His routine, but they had such faith that their Baba would remain strong, or perhaps they did not want to acknowledge the obvious. That even Baba's closest disciples did not for a moment think that the time had come for their beloved Baba to leave his body. So are there any questions so far? Because this chapter is another 2-3 pages, if I may read, if you have time. If not, we can continue tomorrow. The chapter is quite lengthy, but having said that, I can finish this paragraph.
Yeah, I think, Aunty, whatever you can finish. Yeah. Please go
ahead. Even the last night before Baba took Samadhi, he woke up, took his stick, and went about. His close devotees, who now spent the nights with Baba, woke with the loud sound of his stick. Baba was in a rage, but soon calmed down. When asked as what had transpired, Baba told one and all that thieves had entered the house of Amarvati with the aim to rob and cause bodily harm to anybody who interfered, but Baba had driven the bastards away. Thus, in the end, ill health of body or not, Baba made sure his children were taken care of. So in his divine vision, he had seen someone's house, one of his devotees' house, being robbed, and he made sure that it was evaded. So he does that even today. God bless. He sends his angels, he sends his guardians, and then that is protection. So Hamisha protection mango, protection and direction. Two things are very important: spiritual direction and protection for our loved ones, for us, and for the world over. The fateful day finally arrived, and Kes cringed. It was the day of Lord Hanuman, a Tuesday, 15th October, 1918. This is when the First World War also ended in 1918. Kes saw himself as Rabda, seated near Baba. Baba spoke to Rabda, blessed him, saying that he would always be with him. But the young lad Rabda, who still looked like a teenager, sat visibly shaken. Rabda was aware that Baba would now leave his body in a matter of hours. It was the holy month of Ramzan, and also the 10th day of the auspicious 10 nights of Goddess Durga, the Shera. Baba sat with his back onto the wall. He smiled at the devotees, and though Shama tried his best to stop devotees from entering Dwarkamai, Baba gave a firm order that nobody was to be stopped that day. They could all take darshan. Baba began to bless all those who had come for him by putting his hand on their heads and personally giving them the holy ash. Then Baba turned and looked at Lakshman Mama. Laksya, chant the names of the Lord softly, but I want to hear his names. Lakshman Mama began to chant the holy names of Lord Vishnu while Baba continued to bless one and all. Then it was time for the arti, the devotional song sung to the God and Master Baba Sai of Shirdi. This was the last time the Aarti would be sung to Baba in his physical form in Dwarka Mai. Cares will never forget this moment. The noon Aarti began and Baba's eyes glowed. He looked magnificent. Anybody who saw him then would refuse to believe that Baba's body, his physical temple, was in a matter of a short while going to be devoid of Lord and Master. Cares saw Baba in so many forms. The first form was his beloved Lord Hanuman, Maruti, and then Baba became Lord Vital, and then Lord Rama, and then Datyara Guru, the three-headed incarnation of the Trinity. Because this is truly who I am, the Trinity. I am Lord Dattreya, because in Lord Dattreya resides Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma. With Lord Shiva resides Goddess Ma Parvati. With Lord Vishnu resides Ma Lakshmi. With Lord Brahma resides Ma Saraswati. Thus, when you worship the Trinity, you worship every aspect of the absolute creator. You may call the absolute creator Allah, God, Ahura Mazda, whatever name you give your God, that God contains the Trinity. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the goddess energy. The Father stands for God in all his glory, and the Son stands for not only Jesus Christ, but all the prophets and masters who have realized the oneness. It's all just expressed differently. We used to be made to read the Bible in school in England, and it was always like, the God, the Trinity, the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Whenever we used to complete reading the Bible or the parable, then we would recite the holy prayer. So it is all one, but expressed differently. But all prophets and masters who have realized the oneness with the Father and the Goddess. God has no form, Kaz. God is formless. Thus, when you pray to the Creator, you eventually have to go beyond the limited form of God and merge your present intentions with the energy. The beyond, and beyond energy. So beautiful. So would you still like me to continue? Because I don't want to take up too much time. I know there's a time constraint today. So I just want to say again, it's resonating with Guruji's teachings, where he said, just connect. Eventually, as we go deeper and dive deeper into our spirituality, we realize that we are actually connecting our intention and our energy with the beyond energy. So it is unfathomable and, of course, incomprehensible. So any questions for today? Until tomorrow.
Anybody wants to ask any question? Until we have hardly any listeners, so I think we are just grasping your teachings and whatever you are reading. It's so beautiful.
It's really beautiful because it's so relatable and it's every
Yeah.
word the Guruji recited. So
Wow.
we are reiterating and remembering and learning again his Guruji's teachings. So it's the same. Guruji, Baba Sai, Krishna, they all teach the same. And even the Prophet Muhammad, it all comes to the same destination. So
Wow.
I will continue tomorrow now
Yeah.
with His grace. Thank you so much for connecting. Now we literally have just 2 days to go. So looking forward to seeing you. Jai Guruji. God bless all.
Jai Guruji. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you so much for reading this book for us. I mean, this is truly enlightening us. And thank you, Maharaj, for sending Anita Auntie. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sangatji.
you. Thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.